The following audio may contain the personal testimonials of some independent OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to healthy living and weight loss will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. In addition, this audio may contain income or earnings representations of some independent OPTAVIA coaches. OPTAVIA makes no guarantee of financial success. Success with OPTAVIA results from successful sales efforts, which requires hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Please see the OPTAVIA income disclosure statement for statistics on actual earnings of coaches under the U.S. compensation plan, which differs from the international compensation plan. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the best night of the week. It's Wednesday, Habits of Health night, and we have a very special call for you. So this is the pre-call. You guys know what to do if you've been doing this for a while. Drop in the chat. We have a special question for you tonight. It's, where are you tuning in from? And since we're getting into the holidays, what's the weather like where you guys are at? We want to know. Talked to some people today where it was like sunshine and stuff, and I was like, whatever, it's like raining and overcast here in the Northwest. Someone said crud. All right, I love it. We will get started in about like 30 seconds. Lots of people tuning in tonight for our very special call. This is a call that I've done in the past with a few of the people we're sharing with tonight, and so it's kind of like going back in time for me, so I'm excited. It's like our official like internet holiday gathering. Oh my gosh, Dawn, I can't even keep up with the chat.
I know, there's so many. Welcome, everyone. Yes, like Brad said, welcome to our holiday gathering. And whether it's your first time, you're just tuning on, we want to extend a special welcome to you. And you might be tuning in live or on one of our podcasts or on the YouTube channel. You might be also one of our clients in one of the phases of your optimal health journey. You might be in our weight loss phase, on our 5-in-1, or in transition, or even our optimal health phase. Or you might be just checking us out and seeing what this community is all about tonight. So we just want to welcome you. Like Brad said, one of the favorite nights of the week, and this is our favorite call. So my name is Dawn Chow. I'm a certified OPTAVIA coach, and I'm really excited to be co-hosting the call with my coach, Brad. So I'm really excited, Brad, and honored to be on with you.
Yeah, I'm excited for this call too. It's going to be a great call. We've got some great tips, got some great stories. We're going to leave you better than we found you. And hopefully, if this is one of your first calls, which we'll talk about here in a second, we hope that you get so much value that you keep coming back and hanging out with us. So, yeah. And if you missed it, go ahead. If you're just tuning in, go ahead and open up the chat. The question is, where are you tuning in from? And what is the fall weather like where you're at?
Yep.
All right, Don, let's get started.
Tonight we're bringing you a really special call. We're going to hit pause on our elements from our life book. So don't worry if you're wondering, where is element 15 going to be? It's being uploaded and it will be on YouTube later this week. But tonight we are bringing you a really special holiday call. And so we're really, really excited. So please make sure you have a notepad and a pen ready, unless you're driving, because driving and writing is not a habit of health. But we are really hoping to give you some tangible tips and some gold that will change the trajectory of your health this holiday season.
All righty, guys. So we're going to kick this off. And again, if you're just tuning in, open up the chat. We like an interactive chat. There's just as much tips and value in the chat as there is of what we have to share with you tonight. And that's saying a lot because we have a few speakers here. They're going to bring you a lot. But I have some questions for you first. So number one is, and it's like a 3-part question, is how many holiday seasons have you gone through since starting your optimal health journey? In one word or less, what have you gained? And if you want to throw it in there, how much weight have you lost? Because it's so much more than weight loss. If you've been tuning into these calls before, you know what we're talking about here. Got a few zeros, 3, 8, 9s. Oh, we got a lot. Oh, 9? 75 pounds. I can't even keep up with the chat. It's too crazy.
It's so awesome. I love it. And if you've been around for a few seasons and part of our community, drop some of your tips in the chat. I love the gold that comes from the chats in these calls.
Yes. All right. Okay. Chat's still moving, but I'm going to ask the next question. All right. Drop us a 1 in the chat if this is going to be your first holiday season since starting your optimal health journey, or if someone invited you today to learn about how you can change your health and to learn a little bit about OPTAVIA. Oh my gosh, Don. Okay. There's nothing more exciting for me because I know what it's like watching my, like people get healthy. I've been doing this for a while. I remember my first holiday season, and one of my very close people to my heart is going to be sharing their story. So man, we have something good for you guys tonight. So, all right, lots of ones. And we just want to say welcome tonight. Welcome to our family. I want to say something else, and it's going to be proven by my last question here, is put this on repeat on your schedule. Put this as a rock in your schedule, coming back every week to invest into yourself, practicing health, learning tips, being around people in community. So that brings me to my last question is, if you're one of the people that have gone through multiple holiday seasons, or at least more than one, or this is going to be your first, but you've been on plan, doing amazing, changing your health, drop me a rock, the word rock in the chat, if this is a rock in your schedule each and every week. There we go, Don. Funny how...
If you're tuning in on the podcast or a replay, just close your eyes and think rock. I'm gonna join live next week because you know what? We have a ton of fun when we're together. There's so much energy in that chat and so much energy that we're gonna share live on the call. So
yes, absolutely. And I love that most of the people that are sharing that this is a rock, I'm pretty sure the chat was moving pretty quick, but I'm pretty sure those were the people that were sharing that they had the biggest wins, the biggest gains, the biggest momentum in their health. So success leaves clues. Just want to say thank you. And those are the people that we're going to lean on in the chat tonight to share some holiday tips. But Don, with that being said, I think we got everyone here. We're excited to welcome you. Thank you for joining us tonight, being a part of our family, our community. We're going to jump into tonight's topic here, and this is a good one. So share my screen real quick.
I am excited. So yes, you guys, get ready for our topic, which is happy, healthy holidays. Are you ready? Are you ready to have a happier, healthier holiday season? So, all right, Brad, let's dive in. So I don't know about you, or you might have people around you. Some people might say, I'll just wait till after the holidays to get healthy. I'll wait till the new year. I'll wait till later. Now's not a good time. But you know what? I have an inkling that because you're tuning in and you're listening, you want something different. You're looking for something different, and you don't want to just repeat maybe the past holidays, or you don't want to be average and do kind of what the average American does along this time of year, which is usually gain a little bit of weight. I just have to say, you know, Brad knows because, you know, you're my coach, Brad, but 10 years ago, I was working full-time at the level 1 trauma hospital as a nurse. And I had done too many of these cycle years where the holidays came and went, and I would gain a few pounds and I would never lose them. And because I always thought, oh, I'll start later. I'll start in the New Year's. And, you know, just being a nurse, you guys, I never got a real Thanksgiving or Christmas off because my phone was always ringing. Because, you know what, we were always understaffed at work because Christmas and Thanksgiving, unfortunately, were times of the year and days where there were a lot more heart attacks, a lot more strokes and things because people would eat. They would overeat, the stress might be high, and, you know, maybe a few alcoholic beverages, you name it, but all of that put together makes it a really kind of treacherous time of year for your health. And so not to scare you guys, but just this is what I saw until I found a solution, until I found this community, until I knew that things could be different. And so I started my optimal health journey with my coach, Brad, lost 45 pounds, and things started to change. So as you can see on the screen, you know, Halloween, things are going okay. Thanksgiving, a little bit thicker, a little bit more tired, a little bit more stress going on. And then you've got Hanukkah, Christmas, and New Year's. And by the time you wake up New Year's Day, you're feeling tired, you're feeling lethargic, you're already feeling like you have so much more ground to cover than you did before. And so tonight, we're really excited to share with you how you do not have to fall in that trap.
And Don, real quick, Don, before you even,
I
know you're going to introduce Becca to share some tips. I'm just watching the chat here. And one, I'm loving that people are jumping in on the encouragement of this. There's so many people sharing in the chat. Oh my gosh, this is my first holiday. I'm nervous. I'm scared. You know, I don't want to stop my momentum. And, you know, I love that we have these on here because one, we're already past Halloween. So there's really only like 3 main things in the holiday. There's only 3 days when you really break it down. And so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Don't worry, stay with us. And you can catch the recording of this, watch it over and over till it's practice makes permanent. So we have something for you tonight. Do not worry.
Exactly. And Brad, you know, thank you for just stopping for a minute and just, you know, noting the people that are in the chat because we've got you, and Becca's going to share some amazing tips. But We just want you to know that it's not a diet, and you might have it witnessed firsthand. And that might be where some of that fear and hesitation is coming, because the things you've witnessed in the past might have been more diet mentality that doesn't work. We are going to show you a different way. We are going to show you how shifting that mindset and creating health can change the trajectory of your whole life. And it's important all year round, but especially important right now, because by starting now, I just want to say congratulations for being on and for listening to this call, because you're starting early, you're shifting that mindset. And I'm so excited to invite my dear friend, Becca. I mean, Becca, amazing coach, amazing friend. She's helped thousands of people. She's also from the Pacific Northwest, like Brad and I are. And like we mentioned, we used to talk about this topic way back in the day in person. And now we get to come to you from all across America, and actually even the world. There's people listening to this podcast from all over. But really, Becca is going to show you some strategies to use this holiday season. So if you're worried, or you're excited, you're hesitant, any of the emotions that are coming up right now, don't worry. Grab a pen, grab a paper, and listen to what Becca's going to share with you. So Becca, take it away, my friend.
Thanks, guys. What an honor to be with you tonight. I was thinking back in my memory bank, just like many of you, and this is my 9th holiday season. And I have to say, probably I did have some fear at the beginning, but what is so neat is you'll hear the confidence, and you're going to get some competence from those of us who are sharing, especially the people in the chat. So we just want you to know that we've got you, but at the same time, this is your journey. So we're going to ask you to consider some options for yourself, and we're going to ask you to really look at the holiday season very strategically. So let's think about it. What are you really looking at? There's 33 days until Hanukkah. There's about 35 days until Christmas. There's about 42 days left in the remainder of 2019. And we're talking about as of Friday, November 22nd. So if you are literally going to do the numbers, we're really close in what we're sharing. So what that means is between Friday the 22nd and Christmas, there's roughly about 198 meals that you would be having. Or between Friday the 22nd and the end of the year, we're talking about 234 meal choices, assuming you're eating 6 times a day, which is one of the habits that we've trained you on, and one of the things that we would encourage you to consider for the rest of your life. So when you think about it, I know for me, I used to think about the holiday season as about, 6 weeks to 2 months, and it was just all holidays. And we want you to be in the holiday spirit, but we want you to think very strategically about your eating, because you're not necessarily looking at it as that many days in a row and that many months. So let's literally think about the things that you might be considering when it comes to eating and the experiences you're going to be having. So if you think about where we are now, go ahead and move this slide. Yeah, thanks. Thanksgiving, just in a week and a half away, late this year, maybe Hanukkah dinner, maybe a Christmas party, maybe another Christmas party, Christmas Eve, Christmas, New Year's Eve, football. Between now and the end of the year, you're probably talking about actually having about 5 to 8 meals where you might be in a situation socially where you're going to really want to be mindful with your decisions. And when you break it down that way, hopefully you feel less scared and you feel excited, because that's about 5 to 8 chances you have to be mindful in your decision making. And what I like to talk with clients about is everything that we train you on, everything you're experiencing in your plan is preparing you for the rest of your life. If this was just a weight loss journey, if this was a diet, you would do something for a season and then you'd throw it out the window for the rest of your life. But this is a lifelong journey. And because of that, you're going to want to utilize the tools that we talk about on this Zoom and that you've been learning about each week over and over and over again. So you have 3 options. And what I want to ask you as we go through these options is, what are you willing to do? I hope you'll write that down. What are you willing to do? So let's go through the options. The first one, of course, is to be prepared to stay on plan. Would you like the benefits of staying on a structured, healthy plan with a support? And would you like to have success? I don't think there's very many of you saying to yourself, no, I don't think I'd like to have success. So I want to encourage you, option 1 just means continuing to follow your structured eating plan. It means you're going to feel great. You're going to have more energy. You're going to focus on things that don't have to do with food. Maybe they're the people you spend time with, the activities you're doing. You're going to continue to improve your health so you feel even better at those holiday gatherings. And can I just encourage you, if you go to holiday gatherings feeling great and making excellent choices, you're going to be a phenomenal inspiration for the people in your life who very much need what we have. You're going to experience little to no hunger. That's going to be awesome for you. And it's going to be even easier for you to deal with triggers. So by staying in fat burn, it's actually so much easier for you because physiologically, your body's going to be cooperating really well. And so you're not really fighting against those decisions that you really want to make up here in your head. It takes the stress out of what to eat, and it allows you to stay in fat burn. So that's the first option. The second one is that maybe you look at it individually based on the experiences that you're having per activity per event. So this might be considered a compromise. And for some of these options, you're going to take a look at each individual holiday and make a decision about what that day specifically looks like. So you stay on your nutritional plan except for the main holiday meals, using healthy small meals the rest of the day. So for most people, that would be having their fuelings all day long. Then maybe they're going to a family evening event where they decide, maybe I'm going to have some things that are not part of my eating plan. And I'll just encourage you, if you choose option 2, be really mindful about the portions you're having and what you choose. Because I know I've said to myself many times, not worth it, with some of the things that I've either wanted to have or have chosen to have. And then other times I think to myself, yeah, maybe it's worth it. But if you're in full fat burn right now and you're really on your journey, think carefully about option 2. This is a way that you can have that compromise, but be aware you're going to need to dedicate another 2 to 4 days to get back into fat burn after the holiday meal, which means you might be experiencing lower hunger, some cravings, and you're going to slow down a little bit of your weight loss. And you need to ask yourself again, is it worth it? So that's option 2. Option 3, of course, is moving right along and saying, yeah, I'll just go back to the old way of doing things. I don't know why any of us would think this, but we want to make sure you know your options. And the reason we want you to consider so carefully is you have done a lot of work to get where you are, whether you've been on plan for months or you're just getting started and this is your first holiday season. And so we want you to stay dedicated to the things that are most important to you. There's people that would say, well, what to my wondering eyes should appear but an extra 10 pounds on my hips, thighs, and rear? That's what many people are saying. And what I want to encourage you is as you go into the new year, what is it going to be like for you on January 1st, 2020? Are you going to look back and say, I've accomplished so much. I stayed on plan the way I wanted to. I'm really proud of my decisions. Or are you going to look back and say, I'm restarting where I left off, and that doesn't make us feel as good moving into that new year. And so in closing for my little section, I wanted you to think about a couple of things. Somebody used this analogy with me a while ago, but when you get a flat tire, you don't go slash the other 3. That doesn't make any sense at all. So our encouragement to you is decide what you're willing to do with those 3 options, really encouraging you to stay on full plan, but never go out and slash the other tires. And the other thing is you're really building some important habits, and they're going to give you some more strategies in just a minute for what to do specifically at events. But Warren Buffett says chains of habit are too light to be felt until they're too heavy to be broken. And I think that's really important when you think about the holiday season and how it's going to feel to navigate one holiday event after another and land this year the way that you truly desire.
Oh my gosh, Becca, that's so good. The chat is just blowing up. And I just love the way you make it so simple. It's really not that big of a hurdle. And it really is the choice that we have when you phrase it like that. I could listen to you speak all day long. It's been an honor to do this with you over the years. And just tons of people saying that they want to continue to press forward in their health. But we want to give you examples tonight. I feel like we learn from examples, and I feel like we learn from great tips. So I want to share with you a story from one of my great friends who actually started his health journey. Get this, 3 days before Thanksgiving. I actually had to check with him. I was like, man, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do this? But what's cool about a decision to start your optimal health journey is it actually can lead to so much more breakthrough. And if you're a guest or you're new here or you're approaching your first holiday season, I wanted you to hear an example of what a decision to create optimal health and what one of these options might be leading you towards. So I want to introduce my great friend, Ron Cecil. Ron, are you there?
I'm here. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, go for it, man. You got a great story to share with us.
And Brad is totally right. I started 3 days before Thanksgiving, and I remember his face and Ashley's face, like looking at me and kind of leaning in and really asking, like, is this really the time I want to do this? And I remember thinking, you have those moments in your life when you're asked a question, and you've got those kinds of decisions that you feel in an instant. Sometimes you deliberate over things, and sometimes you just know it. You just know this is a strong yes or a strong no. And in that moment, I knew it was a strong yes. Because I knew if I didn't say that strong yes, I knew I was going to continue to allow the same excuses that had been stopping me for a long time to continue to stop me. And thankfully, I have really good coaches and who had translated all that information that Becca had just shared with us to me. So I went into the week prepared, and I went into the week knowing what I want and knowing that it wasn't worth it for me. The way that you're starting to feel, if you already haven't gotten there, the way I describe fat burn is like, it's like driving around with a really dirty window for a long time, a really dirty windshield, and you just kind of get used to it. And you know, there's like that one spot in your windshield that's got like the dead dragonfly and then the moths over there, and it's just like they're like landmarks on your windshield. And then you finally get it clean, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this is the way it was supposed to be. And that's kind of like getting healthy. Like, we don't really understand what normal should feel like until you finally get there. And so then afterwards, once you make those decisions, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? And you start to step into some of those compromises, then you begin to feel it again. So I want to encourage you, based on my own experience, that yes, it's totally doable to go through the holidays, to enjoy those 6 different meals, to have a really good experience with the holiday spirits and enjoy yourself. And then once you get through the holidays, to feel really, really, really proud of yourself. I know that when I stepped on the scale the first time, it was all the way through the holidays. In fact, I was a little nervous because I wasn't really chasing a number. I was chasing a feeling. The feeling was, I want to feel better. I want to feel like my head's together. I want to feel in a good mood all the time. And I finally stood on the scale. I said, shoot, it's February and I've lost about 30 pounds. So that's my time. And I really appreciate you guys sticking with this for me. And I just want to say, like, you can do this. If I can do this, just a dude, you can absolutely thrive in the holidays.
Oh, Ron, I loved it. I think the whole chat loved your analogy. And I think that just your story gives them confidence. And what's cool about Ron's story is it started to lead to other things. Is once you start accomplishing something, you can handle the holidays. You can do anything. I want to just give my man Ron some props here, because he won't do it himself. He also, that holiday conquering led him to climbing Half Dome, which, if you don't know, in rock climbing term, is like the mecca of climbing. He also ran a marathon this year, all things that he actually had told himself that were never possible from a decision to take one step at a time during this holiday season. So we want to wrap up with some tips. So I'm really excited. I'm going to share my screen here. Don and I are going to give you a couple tips, and you're going to hear from Lori, who's going to share some strategies for the events and some things that you can do here. So real quick here, let me get my screen shared. The next one would be, first one, hope you guys got your notepad, grab it, because we're going to have you do something really cool with it by the time this call is done, is be an example to serve healthy option. I was going to share with you guys my whole story, but I'll just short it up. My whole family combined has lost 2,500 pounds. Yes, you heard that right. So we have changed our gatherings, and it starts with one person making a decision one time, because we all know, a lot of you guys are probably parents are here, or that are here, is you guys know that you set the example with your actions and not your words. So do something that show people that health is possible. Bring something for yourself. That is a huge one. Whether you're hosting or going to something, be the example to serve healthy option and set yourself up for success. So that'd be one of them. Don, what's the other one?
I love it, Brad. And here's another one for all of the parents out there. Don't forget healthy snacks for the kiddos too. So in our family, we just got really tired of the fact that when we left the house unprepared, we literally realized we were failing to plan, and which was basically planning to fail. So we decided we'd switch it up, and we would grab healthy snacks for the kids and for all of us as we left. So put them in your car, grab a water bottle for you, make sure the whole family has a water bottle so you don't have to, stop while you're out and about or derail your family plans or the fun to go and get snacks. So that's one thing, is just don't forget to pack the healthy snacks for you and the kids, and maybe a few extras for any, tag-alongs you might have on the way. Because you know what? Having healthy on-the-go snacks ripples out to those around you, and it makes it a whole lot more fun when you're not cranky and hangry out and about doing your Christmas shopping or something like that, wondering where you're going to find your next healthy snack or meal.
Yeah. Such a good example. And what I would say on that is, like, just put your meals everywhere, put water bottles everywhere, in the car, in your purse, or if I have a backpack, like in our diaper bag, because we got little ones, all that, just have them stashed everywhere so you're always set up for success. Oops, sorry, I went backwards there. All right, the other one, and this one's going to blow your minds a little bit, is be mindful of your surroundings and plan ahead. Are you going to be going to some places that don't really serve you as far as your support and your surrounding? I'm going to really challenge you, and this one might shock some of you guys because you have a choice. Is there some events, because you want to say yes to where you want to go in your health and your life, you're going to say no to? Like, and I know that might shock you because some of you guys might say, like, I can't not go to this event. Well, great, plan ahead for it. But there's probably, and this is one thing I learned because I was not surrounded by people, I mean, let alone the healthy choices, but the people that actually served me in my healthy mind and the people I want to be around, speaking of this community right here, is I actually got to choose that actually did not serve me and where I want to go. It was a whole mind blow for me. So I want you guys to really think about it. Maybe it's one of your notepads. Write down some of the maybe holiday gatherings that do not serve where you ultimately want to go this year. I know I might have ruffled some feathers, but hopefully jogging some things loose here because we did a whole element on this one, right, Dawn?
We did, you guys. And actually, that's such a great place to correlate in the fact that if you haven't read Element 5 and gone through that, or listened to the Habits of Health call or the podcast related to Element 5, it is all about this, creating your healthy surroundings, and it can be absolutely game changing. So Brad, I love that. I love that you said that. And I'm, speaking of surroundings and who we spend time with, I'm excited to introduce our next speaker, Lori, who's part of our healthy community. And she is going to share some tips. She's helped hundreds and hundreds of people and shared these tips several times. And I'm just so excited. So you'll definitely have some things to write down with what Lori is about to share with you.
Thank you so much, Dawn. So I love this topic. And just to share a little bit about me, if anyone is wondering, can I get through this in the holidays? I'm a living example, my husband and I both, and I'm just going to share our picture really quick if you can see that. That's what can happen when you get healthy during the holidays. I lost 30 pounds and my husband lost 50. Now, my favorite topic about what OPTAVIA has brought to me is mindfulness. And I will tell you, the healthy mind and going into this holiday season with a strong attitude and really focused on what you want to create is what's going to make this super easy, you guys. Like, if we go into it and think it's going to be hard, it's going to be. I'll just say that right up. But going in through this holiday season, expect to get great results. Dr. Anderson is truly a genius with the Stop, Challenge, and Choose. And this is time where you get to all put that into practice and asking yourself going into the events, is eating this in my long-term best interest, right? If I eat this now, how will I feel in an hour from now? When we eat too much and we eat the wrong things, we don't feel so great, do we? So is it really worth it? Bringing that into your Stop, Challenge, and Choose. How am I going to feel in a year from now if I continue to make choices like this? And I already know what it tastes like. This is my husband's absolute favorite. I know what it tastes like. Do I really need to put that into my mouth again? Is it really going to serve me? And just know that you can have whatever you want, but you are the one that gets to make that choice. Okay, so being mindful with my choices here. Oh, here we go, Brad, thanks. So some strategies and some tips that you're going to be able to take into your events with you. Position yourself away from the food. Keep yourself busy, you guys. Hold your water bottle in your dominant hand at all times. Okay, use the smallest plate that you can. We don't have to go for the big plate. Go, because you're going to fill up the plate. So you don't need that extra, giving you some more options to put on there. Eat slowly. Take your time and savor the food. Get into great conversation and don't go back for seconds. And then also choose a cleanup job away from the food, such as washing dishes. Like, offer to help. It's so wonderful because you get to get into conversation with people and then you don't have to be surrounding around the food table. And then freeze the leftovers immediately. Got a little lag there. Okay. Always remember to stay focused on your family and friends. This is an opportunity to have a completely different perspective on the holidays. Normally, we're always thinking about food and focused on the food. Going into the holiday season, really start focusing on getting in conversation with your friends and family and plan ahead. Have a fueling before you go. Don't go hungry, and take control. Choose smaller plates. avoid the family style dining and move before munching. Get into movement, walk around, talk to people, maybe plan something, a family activity outdoors. Get yourself into movement and not just focusing on the food. And make yourself some cocktails, make yourself mocktails. And there's some wonderful things you can do with our purposeful hydration, and add that to some sparkling water and really make a difference for yourself.
Lori, that was so amazing. Like, the chat's blowing up with the tips. So guys, as we wrap up here, this will be available if you want to come back and watch it. Hopefully you've written some things down, but just some few extra tips. Get extra sleep. There's a whole chapter in the Habits of Health that talks about the correlation to your sleep and restfulness to your decision making. Exercise. It's so good for more than just, being like just losing weight. Like, you are on a health journey where exercise becomes part of your healthy routine. Stay organized, plan ahead, and then take care of yourself. Moderate, relax, self-care. Guys, this can be the most stressful time of the year, or it can be the most impactful time of the year, like Ron and Lori were sharing a second ago. You guys, you can do this. I just want you guys to know that you have a full tip here. You have a plan with proven success. You got a coach that wants to support you in a community. You can do this. And if you practice these tips over time, I'm happy to tell you that my holidays look way different than what they looked like before. So we want to ask you, if anything, you might not even be asking yourself this question. What are you waiting for? Some of you might be like, let's start now. And some of you guys, you got more confidence today to know that you can take on the holidays. So we have our one last tip as we wrap up here. I want to encourage you guys to take that piece of paper you wrote down and make that decision on what you're going to accomplish this holiday season. You don't have to be perfect. It's practice that makes progress. And that's what you want to focus on. You're not going to make every meal choice. Becca went over all the examples all the times. It might not be perfect. Don't beat yourself up. Talk about going forward and what you're learning along the way, because either you succeed or you learn. So the last thing here is you wrote it down. Write down what you want to do with your plan. Becca gave you some great plans. Write it down. That increases your odds of success. And what elevates those odds of success is send a picture over to your health coach and let them know what a win would be for you this holiday season. So that's what we got for you guys. We invite you guys to take on the Healthy Holiday Challenge, and we want to wish you a healthy, happy, and thriving holiday season. Thank you all for joining. Trust in yourself. Stay committed. You're going to have an incredible year. And like Ron said, that windshield's just going to get clearer, clearer, and clearer. Have a great night, everybody.
This audio may have contained the personal testimonials of some independent OPTAVIA coaches or clients of OPTAVIA. The results relayed in these messages are based on the unique experiences of the participants, and we cannot guarantee like or similar outcomes. While you may be inspired by these accounts, please note that any stories of success have not been verified, and your individual path to optimal health will vary. As always, it is our recommendation that you consult with a healthcare provider before starting a weight loss program. In addition, this audio may have contained income or earnings representations of some independent OPTAVIA coaches. OPTAVIA makes no guarantee of financial success. Success with OPTAVIA results from successful sales efforts, which requires hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. Please see the OPTAVIA income disclosure statement for statistics on actual earnings of coaches under the U.S. compensation plan, which differs from the international compensation plan. Yours in health, the OPTAVIA team.